One of the biggest mistakes that triathletes and open water swimmers make in their swim training is kicking too much. In this video, I'm gonna walk through 5 of the biggest mistakes that triathletes, open water swimmers, and beginner swimmers make in their swim training. At the end of the video, I'm actually gonna walk you through a workout that applies some of these concepts that we're gonna talk about in the video. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. I already mentioned it, but kicking too much is a huge mistake that I see beginner swimmers and even more advanced swimmers make. Remember, swimming is pretty difficult. You're moving through a medium of resistance that is 800 times more dense than air. Because of all of this resistance, it takes a lot of effort to move through the water. You know what uses the biggest energy systems and muscle groups and blood flow? It's kicking, it's your legs. Your legs are massive. So when you use your legs and you really focus on that, you're actually sucking all the energy out of your body and you're focusing them on your legs, which if you apply that same effort and that same energy and that same blood flow to your upper body, you can swim much faster and use less energy and do it for a longer period of time. So this concept of de-emphasizing the kick really comes from a place of endurance. You want to save your legs for later on in the triathlon. Even if you're not doing a triathlon and you're just swimming, the longer you try and swim, the more you need to de-emphasize the kick. You can still do kick sets. You can still worry about, pushing off the wall and using your leg muscles at that point. But if it comes to open water swimming, working on pushing off the wall and going 15 meters underwater in streamlined dolphin kick, that doesn't really apply. If you're focusing on doing, 20 or 30% of your entire workout just kicking with a kickboard, even if you like to kick and you like the social aspect, you're probably not helping yourself out. Instead, you need to focus on technique. You need to focus on pulling. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but just know that you want to kick for balance. You want to instead of focusing on your kicking, focus on rotation. Have a 2-beat kick when you swim. All right, I think I beat that concept to a pulp. So let's go ahead and get into the next topic. And the second biggest mistake that triathletes and open water swimmers make is only swimming freestyle. Now, when you're just getting started, obviously you think that, well, I need to swim, I need to train, so I'm going to swim freestyle. And when you get started, that's fine. But as you start to develop your training and you're trying to improve your feel of the water, you want to actually swim all of the strokes. The reason being, you want to improve your feel of the water as you swim the other strokes. Even if you're uncomfortable or you're not as comfortable as freestyle, every stroke you enter the water a little bit differently, you pull the water differently, and all of that is improving your feel of the water by strengthening those small muscles in your hands, in your forearms, and in your lats that you wouldn't ordinarily engage just by swimming freestyle. And this is especially true for every level of swimmer, even if you're competing at a high level in the pool or in open water. It's really important that you swim all of the strokes, mix it up, and if you're not comfortable doing butterfly, that's fine. If you can't do breaststroke kick legally, that's fine too, but you probably can do backstroke. So if you're focusing on the front crawl, I encourage you to focus on swimming some backstroke, so that way you can at least mix it up a little bit. Get comfortable on your back, because if you do happen to stop in the open water, you can just rest on your back and you can feel more comfortable doing a few strokes of backstroke. And finally, the reason why I advocate for backstroke, we'll talk about it in my example set, is because it opens up your shoulders. Think about it, you're swimming freestyle, your arm is moving in this rotational pattern over and over and over. And if you do backstroke, you're mixing it up and you're doing it in the opposite direction. So it's great for your shoulders and great to help prevent injury. So that's why you should focus on not only swimming freestyle, but all the other strokes as well. Now, before we get into our third mistake, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, Zealios. Zealios makes awesome hair and skincare products that are designed to stand up to the intense physical demands of workouts and competitions. Our team has tested out a few of their products and they're definitely worth the hype. The zinc-based sun barrier sunscreen is SPF 45 and it actually goes on clear. It stays put too, so you don't have to worry about getting it in your eyes during a workout. The Swim and Sport Body Wash and Swim and Sport Conditioner both help remove chlorine, sweat, and salt after a swim, and they're sulfate-free so you won't strip your hair or skin of its natural oils. The body wash is great for preventing itchy skin, which I think every swimmer has experienced at some point after being in the water. The conditioner is safe for all hair types and helps restore moisture to keep your hair nice and healthy. Zealios also makes shampoo, anti-shave cream for race day, and a recovery gel to soothe sore muscles. Every product is tested by the world's top athletes so you know it's good. Definitely check out Zealios if you need to restock your swim bag. Head over to the link in the description to get 20% off your order and use the code MySwimPro. All right, now let's get back into it. The third biggest mistake that triathletes make is not doing any drills. Drills are a great way to work on technique, and although you move slower and you might feel like there's no point in doing it because the swim in a triathlon is short, or you feel like you just need to swim more to get faster, that's certainly not the case. Focusing on your technique is the most important thing you can do because your goal is to improve efficiency. By the way, flip turns are perfectly okay. So you can think of doing a flip turn as a drill in itself. A lot of people say, you know what, I'm swimming open water, I don't need to do a flip turn. I don't even need to push off the wall. I'm just gonna circle swim without even touching the wall. Here's why that's a bad choice. If you can do the flip turn and you feel confident doing it, you should do it because it makes you a more efficient swimmer overall. You don't take as long of a gap to breathe while you're at the wall. That improves your aerobic capacity, your lung capacity, and your training ability when it comes to swimming. On top of that, when you push off the wall in a good streamline, it actually sets up your speed for the rest of the 25. Sure, you won't be able to push off the wall in the open water, but it teaches your body how to swim fast. And the fastest you ever move in the water is when you dive in or push off the wall. So if you can push off the wall in streamline, I highly encourage you to do it. If you can do a flip turn, you should do a flip turn. If you can't do a flip turn and you don't want to deal with learning it, that's cool too. Try and push off the wall and leverage that speed into the stroke so you teach your body how to swim faster with a higher body position. Now, on top of doing things like flip turns or streamline, you can actually do drills to work on your technique. Now, I'm going to explain a drill a little bit later in the video when I talk about the workout that is probably the best drill that you can do for any level of swimming, even for triathlon. And so we're gonna get into that in just a little bit. Just remember, quality over quantity. Rather than thinking, how do I swim as much as humanly possible in as little time, think, how can I get the most effective and impactful workout in as little time as possible? Now, the fourth biggest mistake is not doing interval training. From a training perspective, you can swim continuously, or you can follow a structured workout. The two variables you want to consider are swimming density and workout structure. Swimming density just means how much swimming you're doing in a given period of time. A lot of people like to do 2,000 meters in 60 minutes, or 3,000 meters in 60 minutes, or 4,000 meters in 60 minutes. Or if you're freakishly fast, you can probably fit 5,000 meters within 60 minutes. The problem is, as you increase the amount of volume, you actually sacrifice the quality to a certain point, and that swimming structure takes a back seat. So there's a perfect balance, and if you want to figure out how to take your swimming to the next level and find that right structure, you need a coach to write the workout. You need to follow a training plan, and that's exactly what MySwimPro Coach does. In the app, there's tons of training plans specific for open water, triathlon, or pool swimming, whether it's trying to improve your efficiency, improve your speed, or your overall capacity by following a structured training program. That is how you're going to improve the fastest. Swimming continuously can work if you're looking for mental clarity and you just want to get away from the world. But if you're trying to swim faster, you need to incorporate a certain amount of structured training, and you can do that with the MySwimPro app. And I'm going to explain an example workout that you can find in the MySwimPro app at the end of the video. But first, we have number 5. The fifth biggest mistake that triathletes are making is only swimming in a pool. Now, it might sound obvious, but a lot of people train for certain events in a different environment than they're actually going to participate in the event. Here's an example. You sign up for a 10K open water race. You've never swam in open water, but you train a lot in the pool. You even follow the MySwimPro training plan for the 10-kilometer swim. You go through the whole training plan, you never touch open water, then you get to the open water race and you're in an entirely different environment. There's water splashing, there's current, the temperature, there's people all around you, there's noises, all these emotions, and all these things that you haven't experienced because you simply didn't do a few open water swims. So I highly recommend you swim one open water session per week leading in to an actual open water. You could do less, you could do more, but at least try and get in 3 to 4 per month in the 2 months leading up to your actual open water race. A lot of variables out there are things that you may not think of. I mentioned a few of them. There's the water temperature. There's the environment of being with so many other people and having their splash. You're going to be swimming on top of others. Other people are going to be swimming on top of you. You get hit in the face, kicked in the shoulder. It's all going to happen. Not only that, there's the emotion. There's the feeling of being in an event, hearing the sounds, smelling the water. All these things are different, and you want to de-risk yourself yourself as much as possible by experiencing all of these things before you get to the actual race. Another pro tip is to use the wetsuit that you plan on swimming. Put it on, go for a swim. Try and follow the routine that you're going to have on race day or leading into race day. Now let's get into this workout that I talked about a lot here in the video. I hyped it up. It's a 3,000 meter workout. Now I have it right here on my phone. Just pay attention to the intervals and some of the equipment usage. These intervals are actually written for me specifically. The MySwimPro app has an algorithm that personalizes all of these different training intervals. So we take your best times and we can actually compute unique intervals for every single set based on your best times. And as you swim with the app, whether it's on the Apple Watch or a Garmin, we actually dynamically change these based on your performance. So let's get into the workout. We start out with an easy 300 meter freestyle. Then we're gonna go into 650s backstroke freestyle. And then we're gonna go 450s IM order. Now I already mentioned it that you wanna mix in a few of the different strokes, and that's why in the warm-up, we're mixing in IM. Individual medley stands for 50 butterfly, 50 back, 50 breast. You can of course modify this and do other strokes, whether it's backstroke or breaststroke or even kick, but we de-emphasize the kick and there's no specific kick set in this workout. Now the preset is 425s drill. The drill I want you guys to focus on is called fist drill. This is where you actually swim with a fist and you're focusing on your early vertical forearm. The goal is to increase the surface area of which you can pull the water in, and the best way to do that is with fist drill. Now you're gonna feel really slow. It's gonna feel like you're barely moving, but the goal is to not rely on your hand for the pull, but really focus on that forearm. And that's where the title, Early Vertical Forearm, comes in. After you do those 425s, where you're swimming with a snorkel and fins, you're gonna go a 200 freestyle and you're going to build. You're gonna increase your speed. This is an aerobic preset before the main set. Now the main set, we're gonna go 2 rounds where we have 6 100s freestyle on a short rest interval. These are gonna be pull with paddles and a pull buoy, and you're gonna descend those. You can see the goal times that the MySwimPro app is actually recommending. Then we're gonna go a 300 freestyle, and that's going to be build. If you do this 2 rounds, it'll be a 3,000 meter workout after the cool down. If you wanna reduce the length of this workout by 900 meters, you can just simply do the main set, 1 round, and it'll be a 2,100 meter workout. Now the final set is called the cool down. You're gonna swim 100 freestyle silent swimming. This is where you use all of your senses. You listen to the water as your hand enters it. You wanna reduce the amount of noise that you make because remember, we're trying to improve efficiency. It's all about quality over quantity. As you do the whole set, that's 3,000 meters. With these intervals, it'll only take about 50 minutes to complete. If you're going to move a little bit slower, it'll probably take you closer to an hour or 70 minutes. Remember, you can modify it and you can scale up and down the workout using the slider on the MySwimPro workout screen. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what questions you guys have, and I'll see you at the next one. Happy swimming.